Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Resting Easy with Chris and
Breezy.
And in this episode,
we're going to be talking about the 2023 Run Disney Wine and Dine Half-Marathon, and we'll be giving our overall thoughts on the run weekend.
But before that, watch this wonderful footage of the race.
We already got the first. That's one.
Captain Hook and oh my goodness. Smee, that's it.
What's the matter with you? All it takes is a big truck. Oh, and something I forgot.
A little rough there. Whew. Entering the World Showcase.
Photocast only, no phone.
Deal Bruno. Hi, friend. Apple.
Squirrel!
Please use caution. Course narrows ahead. Please use caution. Course narrows ahead. Please use caution.
We'll see you soon.
We gotta
Safe
get.
travels. Hi there. It's so good to see you again. And I see you made it back safe from your mission. Did you run into any first order trouble out there? Nothing at all? Chewy, I think we finally got rid of them. Thank you. Safe travels. No more
It's Woody. Woody and Bo Peep. Sorry.
Find your opening.
There he is.
Hello, my dear.
Yet here for me, it's the same and I can't
Of course. Right here, babe.
Like I work here.
Y aunque esté perdido no me sé rajar. Yeah!
Oh, like really? It's almost like I kind of like should I leave? It's a charity shop.
Next one's going out to Tracy. Here you go, buddy.
You know, I've just been asking for this since 5 a.m. It takes a while to warm up to you. Here we go. Vámonos y felicidades.
Oh, look at that.
Congratulations. The Brunos have been
All right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that footage. Now let's go ahead and talk about that race. So, started off there, Breezy.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll start from the start.
Yeah.
The starting area. They did it. This is the first time that we ran a half marathon at Disney World where they've done this new system. So what they did is they put it all in the Epcot parking lot, but in order to do so, for some reason, they had to separate the last corral. So there was A through D in the main area, and then E was all the way off to the side. And
Somewhere
I'm just
around the
like,
way.
not a good idea.
Yeah.
You had the announcers constantly calling out Corral E, like, hopefully that they didn't feel left out. From what I understand, they couldn't even hear the announcers. And when they were released into the, when they eventually got released into Corral B to start their movement, it was a free-for-all. And I don't know what Disney was thinking. I don't understand why they separated them. It seemed to me if they would have moved barriers over, they could have moved them in along with us. It was weird.
Yeah.
It did not work well. I really hope they don't do that. I would rather do the mile walkout for the half marathon and the full marathon to have those people, separated, because it just felt, we were in Corral D, and it just felt like they were completely on their own and just like left to their, fend for themselves basically. And that was not a good feeling. Even
May the odds forever be in your favor,
Yeah.
sort of things. It was Mad
Yeah.
Max out there stuff, but
Speaking of corrals, though, this was the first time also that we got, we were put in different ones. I was in C, he ended up in D. Don't know why.
Yeah.
We register together. We start and finish all these races together. But I did fall back into D, of course, to, run with him.
yay.
But other than that, the starting area, it's fine. It is what it is.
It is hopefully that Disney learned from their mistake, because there was way too much backlash from, like you said, way too much backlash.
Yeah, and I don't blame them at all. It was just awkward. When you're having to when you're the announcers and you're having to constantly sit there and recognize, that group because they're all the way out there to help them feel included, you automatically, that's like, okay, that should tell you all you need to know right there.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be necessary. All right,
So moving on from that
Yeah.
that fiasco.
Yeah. We'll get more into everything overall at the end. The course itself. So of course he's gonna
Go put the picture right
put
here.
a picture
Yep,
right
yep,
here.
yep.
But we'll break it down, our thoughts about it as we go. So you start out, in the Epcot parking lot. You enter Epcot between mile 1.5 and mile 2. You enter in through
The Mexico
Mexico
Pavilion.
in the World Showcase, and you go around the World Showcase, which of course is always awesome, especially in the dark. And you exit out of the International Gateway by the Skyliner. One thing that was new, at least for us, is since we did that, we ran the International Gateway area and the boardwalk at the beginning. And if you've ran any of these races, you know that that's actually always done at the end of the race.
Yep.
But this time it was in the beginning, and then we entered into Hollywood Studios. I actually have it here at mile 4.
Yep.
And the cool thing that they've done recently with these ones is you go through all of Hollywood Studios, basically. So you go through Galaxy's Edge, Toy Story Land, and then you come back out. And we went back out by
The Skyline, the entrance again.
Right.
Because
yeah. And by the time you do that, you're it's about mile 5, and then you're on the roads.
Yep.
For 6 miles.
Yep. Again, what difference between the 10K was we didn't spend any time in Hollywood Studios at all for the 10K, but for the half marathon, we ran for almost every single part of Hollywood Studios. I mean, like she said, it was pretty nice. But then,
because we do stop and take pictures in Galaxy's Edge, they actually had a couple of photographers taking people's pictures just with some of the props, like the different fighters and things like that. They did have characters, but they're actually like up on the scaffolding, things like that. And they talk and they do interact, but you don't take pictures with them unless you're like taking a selfie or something. And then you're out of Hollywood Studios at mile 5, and it is all road. I do understand that they're getting the park portion out of the way early, because then it's less headache for them later, having to detour the guests that are actually in the park for the day, things like that. I do understand that, but
they could have added at least another park to it.
Also, one thing that was new with this course, because we went by one of the, just right by the entrance of it, one of the miniature golf things. That's actually, I think, where Horace and Clarabelle were.
Yep.
And so overall, this course had a lot of new like redos about it. I didn't hate it, but again, it's just a lot of road. They do, Disney does do a really good job as far as making sure they have plenty of characters, entertainment, things like that.
Yeah, it was, to make up for basically the rest of the half of the half marathon, let's put some characters out onto the road, which is a good thing. It keeps it interesting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of characters, we stopped for 10.
Yes.
And they're all pretty quick. There was 2 character stops that I'd say were about 10 minutes a line. And stuff. But the ones we stopped for, the first one was Aladdin and Abu. And
I always get freaked out from that guy. Abu is
eyes.
weird. I think they need to redesign that costume. It just does not look like Abu at all. But yeah. So
that was our first one. And then the second one, which was one of the longer ones, it was Goofy, Donald, and Daisy. And they were in cute little outfits. So we did stop for them. And then there was Duffy. We've actually seen Duffy a couple times. He's not common, but I remember one time he was in his Christmas outfit, but we didn't stop. We finally stopped for him because he's one we don't have. So we did. And then Pooh, of course, he was in Hollywood Studios.
Yes,
he was near, as we were going,
Tower of
Terror, yeah. And then Horace and Clarabelle. And Jack was the next long one. And the funny thing was about that was he was a little bit before we hit the 9-mile marker. And so, you had a lot of people waiting. Well, then right after that, right at the 9-mile marker is Oogie Boogie.
Yeah.
No line.
No line. That was quick.
Felt they waited too long for Jack and didn't want to stop.
Just skipped right on by.
Yeah, so we did get Oogie Boogie. And then we got Carl, Doug, and Russell.
Yes.
So all 3 of them together. That was fantastic.
That was a big line because we didn't think we were going to get all 3 because we saw some of them, doing exchange and all that stuff. So I was like, man, Doug needs to actually be there for it. And then he just happened to be there.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah. And then we got the Haunted Mansion ballroom dancers.
Those were
That
cool.
was right before we entered back into Epcot.
Epcot, yes.
And the last one we got was Miguel in his I don't know what it's called, but it's his like dress outfit, as far as his nice clothes, his nice sombrero hat. It was very cool. So those were our 10. And then of course we also stopped real quick for all the mile markers.
Of course.
A few other photos for ourselves, and one bathroom stop, which we have a tip. Oh.
Yes.
If you can wait and you enter in through Epcot to use the restrooms, don't go to Norway, don't go to Morocco, because they don't have a lot of bathrooms, and there's a line.
Yeah.
Go to American Adventure.
Yep.
There's not a line, and they have a lot of stalls. So there's my tip. You're welcome.
Yep.
So speaking of all the character stops and everything else, how did it affect our time? So for our time, our movement, now take into consideration, I don't actually stop my watch for the mile markers. I also don't stop them for our own selfies. And I think there was even a couple characters because there was like no line that I didn't stop it for. But our time was 2 hours, 59 minutes, 38 seconds for 13.5 miles. That was our movement. Our actual time was 3 hours, 51 minutes and 16 seconds for 14 miles. And that's what he tracked.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't stop his watch. So it was about a 52-minute difference of, character stops, restroom stop, things like that. So honestly, not bad.
Yeah.
For us for a Disney race. Because we've said it time and time again, we're going to take our time and stop.
Yeah. Got to get our money's worth from this stuff.
And
here.
one of these days, and it may be this upcoming weekend, where we might be hanging out with the Balloon Ladies.
Yeah.
Speaking of, they finished about a half a mile after us because of how much we stopped.
Yeah.
And the thing is we're not worried, for 5, 10, and half, it's, we're not worried about not being able to finish those at all.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, but with that time through, then you gotta, go through the finish line, right? You see all the people coming through, and then you go on and get all these wonderful blings, aka medals. And here is the half marathon with
Mirabelle.
Yes.
And then she's magnetic.
and she's
Hiding Bruno.
Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno, right? Yep. And then on the back
That was
side,
very cool. I don't even think we noticed that for a while.
yeah. And then you have the magic is in you, and of course the lanyard. So that's the medal for the half marathon. And since we did do the
Two course challenge,
the 10K and the half marathon, for those that don't know, you actually get an extra medal. And this is the theming for the challenge, or the Wine and Dine, was Figment. So yes, you definitely just saw Breezy light it up. That's just actually pretty cool. We'll see how long that actually lasts. I think it'll last quite a while. Nothing much on the back other than let your imagination run. I don't know if that'll pop up or not. There it is. Anyway, and then of course your lanyard, talking about the 2-course challenge. But that is your
and my favorite was the Mirabelle one.
the Maribel one. Yeah, it was probably the best one. I think the 10K was. I mean, sorry, the 5K was Alice with the teacup.
And
Was
Cheshire
it
Cat.
Cheshire Cat and all that
Much
stuff.
better,
So,
yeah.
out of all of them, I think, the half marathon was the best medal. And then, of course, you got the I Did It shirt, and she's wearing the
race shirt.
the race shirt.
For
Yeah.
the half.
And if you see it, as you see Maribel, and then Bruno in the shadows.
Yeah.
So I think that whole theming there of the whole marathon was
was
awesome.
I mean, of course,
Yeah.
you heard a lot of the songs. I'm a big fan, of course, of Surface Pressure. It's, it's probably my favorite from the movie.
Yeah.
But overall, feelings for the race, we had very different experiences.
Yes. You go first, babe.
I felt great. I felt this was one of my best half marathons in a very long time as far as feeling. Like, towards the end, I was like, yeah, I can keep going. Let's do this. I was just like bopping around. It was, yeah.
Enjoying the music,
Yeah, I felt
characters, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How about you?
And it sucked. So bad. I mean, half marathons are 13.1 miles. It doesn't matter. I think what sucked about it was kind of disappointed in myself. Didn't do a lot of training, lazy. So I didn't run too well. I had a lot of
But you were
pain.
having an issue too.
Yeah, I had pain, back pains, everything you can think of. It just sucked, and I was glad that it was over.
But for after the race, like we've said before, we do not hang out. We don't stick around in the finishing area. We're out. So we went, but we're hungry.
Yes.
So then we decided to stop for breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
That was an interesting adventure.
Yeah.
First IHOP that we attempted to go to was on iDrive. And no. I don't know how long it took us just to even try and get, turn the corner and get into the parking lot. And there was like at least a 45-minute wait. And then we had to attempt to get back out of the parking lot.
Yeah, which was another.
Yeah, that was a freaking mess.
Yeah. So we will definitely not be going to that IHOP ever again.
No.
So we had to drive to another one, which was I mean, it was still busy. I think it's just because it was Sunday
Well, yeah, of course.
and all that stuff. So.
But it's still, we waited less than 10 minutes. So that was, so we did. We went and had breakfast, went back to the room, cleaned up, relaxed for a little bit. And then we headed to Magic Kingdom.
Yes.
And did some rides, especially, you know, my favorites.
With it being the last day. Yep, we got to hit those major ones, which are?
Carousel Progress, People Mover.
Yeah.
We also did the Riverboat and It's a Small World. But as we were leaving, they were performing Happily Ever After, so we did catch some of that. And then we went to Epcot and caught some of Epcot Forever. So we got 2 times the fireworks shows. And we were hung out. We waited for the party to start, the after party. So the Epcot closes at 9, and then the after party starts at 10. So there's that limbo because they don't keep the rides open or anything, which makes no sense.
Yeah.
Whatever. And for some reason, it feels like more of the food and wine booths were shut down for this year's party than they were for last year's.
Yeah.
There was like nothing in Mexico was open. Not the Mexican Pavilion, both their quick service and their food and wine booth. None of them were open. Are you freaking kidding me?
I'd be like, I want a margarita.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was already like annoyed.
Yeah.
Like legit annoyed.
Yep. And then we've already had some of the food that was there. So we walked around. Everyone was carrying that specialty drink with
those lines
the
ridiculous.
lighted ice cube or whatever.
It was a cup.
Oh yeah, that's right. The cup.
Yeah. The cup.
Yeah. So that was the entertainment.
We left by. We were gone before 11. And because
kind of sucks that we're coming to this and we're ending it on a sober note here, but
just the overall run weekend, I don't know. It was a very different feeling. I don't know if it is changing or if I was just aware of it this time, but
yeah. I don't know. We'll see if we'll ever do another Wine and Dine.
Other than that.
Yeah. I think we need to just wrap this up.
Yeah. Take
a look at all the wonderful photos because that's going to come right up after this. But make sure you kind of give it a thumbs up.
Yes.
Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Give that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't because we're going to be getting a little bit more into our marathon weekend videos upcoming.
And year in review videos.
And the year in review videos. So stay tuned with that. And
comment below. I'm just curious if you were there. I'd like to know like your experiences and things like that. And if you weren't there, what are kind of your thoughts as far as your views on what you've seen, or is this a weekend that you'd be interested in doing? But yeah, let us know.
Yeah, definitely. Put some stuff down in the comments. We love talking with all of you. And with that,
bye.
See ya.